in a commercial or infomercial or something like that, as opposed to like the dhikr. There's a way you have to do it that makes it good, and there's a way that you can do it that make it bad, and Allah knows best. There will be an abundance of those who recite the Quran in a singing way in order to show off, gain fame, and earn wealth. There will be a scarcity. There will be very few people that know fiqh, very few fuqaha. I would dare say, if we look at this whole room right here, how many people have studied one whole book of fiqh and can explain each chapter? And as young men, young people, or especially the teenagers who swear they want their rights, how many of you know your rights or know what the law is for you in every aspect of your life, just based on a basic fiqh book? Most people don't get past zakat before they toss the book in the corner. They do tahara or iman, tahara, salah, sawm and Ramadan. And then when they want to make umrah hajj, they read a couple of things about umrah hajj, and then they go say, I'm going to figure it out when I get there. I'll pay the guy to guide me. Nothing else is read. The fiqh of buying or renting or any of this stuff is unknown to the normal youngster. And the older people don't review. Because it used to be the habit to learn this stuff when we were younger, so at least they were exposed to it. But the revising of it, finding out what was actually from the sunnah and what was wrong, or they didn't have it quite so right, we don't do that. So this is right here, a scarcity of people who know the fiqh. The ulama and scholars will be killed. There will be a lot of suicides. And people will prefer death to gold. One of the things that we notice in the richest societies, you have the higher amounts of suicide. Needless to say, Seattle is one of the highest places where people commit suicide. It's amazing. The latter people of this ummah will curse the former. The trustworthy will be treated as cheats, and the treacherous shall be called trustworthy. This is what we see. Strangers will meet, goodness and piety will be considered bad, and evil will be regarded as good. You know, the ma'ruf will be seen as munkar, and the munkar will be ma'ruf. This, maybe you don't understand this. If you look at the theme of any movie, right? Who watches movies here? Oh, come on guys, don't lie. Okay? Everybody, you watch these movies, you see the movies. What's the theme in the movie? Is there a righteous man in the movie? No, the best thief is the star of the show. The best fornicator, the nakedest girl, is the co-star. Whoever, if you look at it, the theme, the killer, he's the guy you're rooting for. Right? The murderer, the thief. All this stuff, the themes of these movies have you rooting for the bad guy. And if it's a movie about something that's good, that's boring. I don't want to watch that. It's corny. It's a chick flick. That's what they call it, right? Don't front. Strangers will be treated well, but the rights of relatives will be neglected. Subhanallah. And we notice this. People will, if you come, the people will be very nice to you. If they don't know you, assalamu alaikum akhi, like we treated Chris real nice. What's happening, Chris? 5 o'clock, accept Islam. Your mother, what you want, Mom? Yo, Abby, come on, I'm busy. No time for them. We don't want to talk to them. We don't want to show respect for them. They're always talking, don't worry about it, let's go. So we treat the stranger with all this preference and deference, but we treat our parents, our relatives, our aunts and uncles, we don't want to talk to them. And the older ones are the same way. When we get on the phone to talk to them overseas, we don't want to talk to them. They always want some money. They always want some money. They're over there, they'll get over it. Hang up. They think there's a problem with the phone. They know there ain't no problem with the phone. So we have to have some more respect for because this is a sign of the last day. The wife will be obeyed, but parents will be disobeyed. The wife will be obeyed, but parents will be disobeyed. So we're talking about a lot of mama's boys here. A lot of mama's girls. And the father is out of the picture. Do we see that in American society now? Big time. If a man goes and says he wants to get just something like welfare, they don't want the man to be on the welfare, they want the wife to be on the welfare. And they put her on the front. They'll even tell her, look, if you get rid of the guy, you get more money. Don't they tell them? They tell them, look, just don't put him on there. You be the head of the household. When you put the head of household, put your name, we'll give more money. If you put him there, it's going to take a decrease. Oh, okay, but we're just going to do it like this so they just know. And then it's my money. My name's on that. Problems. These are the signs of the last day. There will be noise and a commotion in the masjids, and people will discuss worldly affairs there. Astaghfirullah, this is happening. Only those who are known will be treated with the salams. This happens in the land of the Muslims. If you come from over here in the United States, we give salams when we see, most of the time, at least in New York. If you see anybody, you say salam alaikum, salam alaikum, salam alaikum, because you don't see the Muslims so much. I don't know if they do it like that here in Seattle. But if you go overseas in the land of the Muslims, even if you're in Mecca, you walk past somebody, say salam alaikum, they say, yes, you need something? Alaikum salam? Like, no, I was just saying salams. What's wrong with that guy, you know? I mean, he's saying salams. They're not used to it. They're not used to it that way. So, you know, this is bad habit. We should give salams. Afshu salama bainakum. We should push the salams to each other. Divorce will be very common. Divorce will be very common. Do we see this? What? People one of the main reasons I deal with divorce a lot, almost every other day. One of the main reasons for divorce is selfish. People are selfish. The parents are selfish. And they don't care about anything but themselves. They don't care about the family, don't care about the children, just me. And that's one of the main reasons for divorce. You young people, divorce is supposed to be a real, serious, sacred, institution. It's half your religion for you men. Half your deen. You have to take it serious. You can't marry a girl and just don't like something about her and get rid of her. It doesn't go like that. You have to put time in. Don't take this thing lightly. The pious will keep themselves away, while the lowly and base people will abound in the limelight. We see this on the internet a lot. You'll see a lot of the knowledgeable people, they're not on the internet with these different things, and then you find that the chat rooms and these different websites where people are talking back and forth, giving all types of, it's loaded with all these different things. And if you go there, sometimes people send me a link, I go there and you see these people don't even know what they're talking about. But they're having this thing. They have not studied anything, but they're putting their comments and everything like this. This is dangerous. This is the worst trick you can do, because the shaitan, he has levels of tricks. His main trick is to get you to say, وَأَن تَقُولُوا عَلَى اللَّهِ what? مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. That you say about Allah what you don't know. This is the main trick of shaitan. That you say about Allah what you do not know. This is the ultimate of shirk. Some people say, well, shirk is the worst thing. No. The worst thing in practice is that you say about Allah what you don't know. Because that's what shirk is. When you say Allah has a partner, you're saying about Allah what you don't know. When you say, as far as democracy, that, it's religion only deals with the religious, the ibadah, the worship, and it has no place in secular affairs, then you're saying about Allah what you don't know. What's the longest ayah in the Quran? What does it deal with? What? Debt. Dain. Is a debt, according to the Western standards, is it a religious thing or is it a secular thing? It's supposedly secular, but it's the longest ayah in the Quran. So they're saying about Allah, saying that religion should stay only with the worship. They're saying about Allah what they don't know. And this is the concept, if you're not following me, the concept of separation between church and state. There is no separation between church and state in Islam. It's all dealing with Islam. The whole thing. But the concept of modernity is that religion has its place over there. Don't bring it over here in our daily affairs. No. There are no daily affairs that don't have anything to do or everything to do with your Islam. So to say about Allah what you don't know is the biggest sin you can commit and the biggest trick of the shaitan. So you have to know about this thing. You have to know about it. People will take pride in erecting tall buildings and in competing with each other in these projects. Today I went to the Space Needle. I think that's what it was called. The Space Needle. And I believe I was told it was the first humongous tall erected Space Needle in the United States. They have one in New York as well. and different places around the world. Don't we see this now? Everybody's bragging, oh, my country has the tallest building in the world. And we were just talking about Mecca now. They have right outside the Kaaba, they have this humongous building. It's now the third largest in the world. If you think about tall buildings, all you think about is either New York or Dubai. You know, they have these humongously tall, big buildings. Or Malaysia had one for a while that was, I think, the tallest in the world. Right? Or Indonesia, one of the Asian countries. So, sorry? It was Malaysia. Okay, jazakumullah khair, barakallahu fikum. So we see this now, skyscrapers. People putting these tall, erecting buildings in the sky. Wine will abound and it will be called nabid. People will use interest when trading, and bribery will be called a gift. Now we notice what this is now is that people changing the names of things. No longer will they call it a bribe, they call it a gift. They won't call it wine, they call, let's say, what do they call it? Wine coolers, or they call it something else. You know, they change the name of things in order to trick you into utilizing it. There will be, the new terminologies. Immodesty and shameless conduct will be very common. We see this now. We see this, like I said, with even the Muslims. Just the way they dress, just the way they behave, we behave very immodest sometimes. We can check ourselves with this regard. Invitation would be extended to enjoy the company of women along with food and drink. We see a lot of the young guys say, yo, are you going to go to that conference? Are you going to go over here? Yeah, any girls going to be there? And so the girls say the same thing. Are you going to go? Honey, any guys going to be there? So they're not going for the lecture. They want to see if there's any guys there. Let's go to the bathroom. Oh, I'm outside the bathroom waiting for my friend. And so they're there just to see the guys. You think somebody's stupid? We wasn't teenagers, we didn't understand that? And we're not saying we can do it, you can't. No, we're trying to save you from yourselves. The fast one is going to get burnt out. The fast one is going to get involved in something that they don't know what it is. They don't know the reality of it. You have to save yourself and control your desires. That's all it is. Controlling yourself. Unexpected deaths will be very common. How many people we know having strokes and heart attacks? It used to be someone got old or they got sick and then they died. Then, nowadays, sudden death. People dying of heart attack. People catching cancer. People getting AIDS. Then all of a sudden, they're dead. And this may not be something that young people think can happen to them, but it's happening. People will ride on thick cushions to the doors of the masjids. Sometimes we don't understand these things. What do you think this is talking about? Cars. You know, that nice thick cushion we're sitting on, riding to the masjid. So this is something that is happening. We have these cars. Women will wear garments, but they will be naked, because the dress will be thin and or tight fitting. Do we see this today? I mean, we don't even need to talk about it. The ladies will have their hair tied in buns or humps on their heads. What this means is that sometimes the ladies, they do a thing so they can show you that they got hair. Okay? They do. So they tie it. Sometimes, see, I got daughters, you know, I see this stuff that they do. You got to stop them at the door, guys. Hey, where you go? Change that thing off your head.